Now we are following developing news out of Wellington. A plane crashed, killing the pilot.
We have live team coverage right now from the ground and from Chopper 5. Let's start with News Channel 5's Christina Noche with what we are learning right now about this afternoon crash. Christina?
Yeah, if you take a look right now, you can see the plane is still submerged in the lake where it crashed earlier this afternoon. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue says the FAA and NTSB are getting on scene now to investigate the cause of the crash. Now, we aren't reporting the man's name because deputies are notifying the pilot's family, but this man is well known in the area and lives in the Aero Club neighborhood. Neighbors say he has decades of pilot experience. A nearby resident who witnessed the crash says he saw the plane doing loops and different stunts. Then he says he heard loud popping noises.
Somebody across the lake has said they got poles, and I did see myself that from a distance that he was moving his head at some point.
I seen him, he was doing a loop and then came down and came up this way and just went straight in the lake bank.
Now, several neighbors called 911. They say they ran over to help the man. Now, deputies say that they are going to be here on scene for several hours tonight, and the scene itself is going to be contained for quite some time until the FAA and NTSB have finished their investigation. No word yet on the cause of the crash. Reporting live from Wellington, Christina Noche, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now, the crash happened in the 2900 block of Greenbrier Boulevard. News Channel 5's Johan Hoffen continues our live coverage right now from the air just on how close this crash site is to a landing area there in Wellington. Johan?
And good afternoon, Shannon. Live in Chopper 5, and we'll take you down to where the site is. It is off of Greenbrier and Aero Club Boulevard here. Let me zoom down here with this shot that Chopper 5 can only give you this aerial perspective. Right there is the crash scene from above. You can see this right here. It went into the lake here, but we'll bring you over to the Aero Club, the runway here, and there's 3-4, and over here is runway 16, just positioning parts of a runway. So here is, if they were saying he was trying and doing loops and stuff, possibly he was trying to come into this and maybe come into a landing, and there maybe possibly overshot. This is always perspective or just guessing here right now, but that's Aero Club Drive right there, and right here is where he ended up landing. Sadly to say, a fatality in this accident. But out here in Wellington, you do have Palm Beach County Sheriff's officials still on scene doing an investigation, and on a traffic standpoint, Greenbrier and let's see, Aero Club Drive is not affected in any way, so travel out in the Wellington area moving quite well. That's how it looks up here in Chopper 5. I'm Johan Hoffen. Back to you.
Johan, thank you. Well, friends of the pilot tell us the man killed in today's crash was an experienced pilot. News Channel 5's Brian Enton continues our live coverage with that part of the story.
Jay, friends say that this victim has flown for American Airlines for nearly 2 decades. He flew their biggest commercial airliner, the Boeing 777. Take a look from the vantage point where we are right now, and you can see this plane in the water. The crash site still roped off. The pilot had thousands and thousands of hours of flying experience. One person telling me he might be the most experienced pilot in the entire Wellington Aero Club. We're not releasing his name because the sheriff's office is still notifying next of kin, but everyone out here knows this man. He's lived here for over 8 years. He was even at one point president of the association. The crash site is just less than a mile from the pilot's home. You saw Johan's vantage point from the sky. Friends all rushing out here when they heard what happened.
He was a very senior pilot with American Airlines and was pretty high up in the pilots union and flew 777s. Was a former Marine helicopter combat pilot in Vietnam, and very, very well liked in the community. We really, I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just terrible.
The friends say the victim has 2 teenage daughters who go to Wellington High School. Sheriff's deputies right now are at the family's home. Coming up all new at 6 o'clock, we're going to talk more about this experimental airplane that he was in and what some of his close friends and fellow pilots think may have gone wrong. Live in Wellington, Brian Enton, WPTV News Channel 5.